How you going? It's Glenn from the Burnout River Clean. I've just got my 50 hours up since the last big dump, and just wanted to show you I've decided to go by hours now instead of weeks and days and everything like that, because I find that hours show a better example of what's coming out of the river, because hours to me can range over 2 months. If I'm only doing 2 to 3 hours a day, Firstly, I'd like to just say that I did approach the council for assistance to dump a lot of these plastics, and I was rejected. So this will be dumped out of my own pocket now, as I have been doing anyway. I do get funding from a number of people. They know who they are. They fund me directly on Facebook, you can see that, or through the GoFundMe account. So thank you to those people for assisting and helping and donating your hard-earned money to contributing to getting more of this out of the river. These boxes here, it is windy, sorry, as well, so I hope you can hear it. This white box I took out the day that Nick, Renee and Desi came out with me. This green one I took out with Renee. This smaller one, I already took that out a day by myself. The far end has recyclable bottles in it that can be sold. This one has rubbish that myself and Renee took out. And this box here is the rubbish that myself, Renee, Nick and Des took out. Actually, it was mainly the girls that took it out, because I went to get this white box here out as well that day. Yellow mooring buoys, there's a number of those. There's still like at least 10 that I know of now. Every time I go out I seem to come across more of them, and some of them weigh so much. Like this one here weighs a lot, but if they get into the main river and you hit one of these things, it's going to be like hitting a serious rock like this. You can hear that now is just waterlogged, whereas these little ones are light. So anyway, I started to sort this out. I was pretty sure the council would assist me, but they decided not to, so I'm not going to bother sorting it anymore. But this was a cubic metre of just plastics, and I sorted the smaller, like the plastics that were non-recyclable into these containers. Like this is all plastic. Hats are even plastic, believe it or not, because the caps inside those caps are plastic. So you can see here, see that? That's plastic. So there's containers of foam, there's plastics, there's all that sort of stuff. But now it'll all be dumped. There's a container here that was full of just plastic bags alone, like fluffy bags. All these wheelie bins were found in the river. This wheelie bin here is full of rubber shoes and thongs. That's from the last 50 hours. This one here is the cans that Jackson and Leanne gave me. These ones here are cans from other people and cans that I've found in the river. So there's probably $150 worth of cans there to contribute. And you can donate if anyone has any cans or bottles, even if it's 20 or 30. I don't, it all helps if you do want to donate them to help. This container here was mine. I've had this for a while, but I have found half a dozen or so in the last 50 hours of these ones. I don't know what I'm going to do with these, whether I'll keep them or not, because I don't seem to be accumulating the same sort of stuff, and I now have these wheelie bins that I can use. So I'll probably sell a lot of this stuff to recover money for the Burnout River Clean. There are bottles here that have also been donated. A lot of them were found. Most of them were found. There's this pine lounge or something that would make good firewood. It was dumped on the picnic area at Kirby's Wall the other day, so I didn't bother ringing the council. I'm bothering them because it seems to be a major catastrophe for them to send someone out to clean something up. By the time they would have got there, it would have been everywhere, so I just took it. These witches' hats are plastic. They're council witches' hats, and they might just blow off roads and into the river, off bridges, who knows. This one, I don't know where that's come from. It could have been from the flood. The council can't glue these things to the road. People might throw them in, who knows. There was this orange net that you would remember in previous videos. Half of it's up the other end of the yard. These paddles, these two petrol containers, there's a body board. They were both tied together. And these are new, like they've only just floated down the river recently. There's that flat hose, 40 metres or so. There's this white container with white Dan buoys and other sorts of floats in it, fenders and things. A pipe that's roughly 2 metres high. It's about, it'd have to be near a metre round high. It's about an inch thick. It's plastic. It came out, I took it out because I had some spare time. The Ocean Crusader will probably go and remove the rest of it, because I'll be sending him photos of where it is with the GPS marks, because he's got the area to remove these larger things if he wants to do it. Whereas I concentrate highly on plastic bags and plastic bottles. That's my main thing, and foams. As you can see here, this is a blue container that's mine, and it's full of foam floats that have, started to fall apart over the years from the sun in the mangroves. There's probably so many people in Bundaberg that could lay claim to this, one of these, I could sit there and write a list and read them all out on the internet if I wanted to, and let people come and collect them as they claim them. Then there's a red shopping trolley that was at Kirby's Wall also. It's got a number of floats in it. There's another couple of floats there, surfboard, another paddle, rope in that container. This box is mine. It's not out of the river in the last 50 hours. But coming over to here, this vessel is still in the hands of the police. It was just about to flow out of the creek near the Rowers Club. It could have ended up a really dangerous thing. It was basically floating on the surface. There's a kayak side wall of a vessel, an aluminium vessel that was on the beach over at behind Mariner's Way there. There's the yellow hose that we've all seen before, and the car tyre. There's a number of blowing up car tyres that I'll keep. Here's some needles. They're the larger needles. You see all these containers here, they still contain needles, but I'm not going to go opening these up because it's a bit dangerous now. I've done it a few times and nearly got bloody stabbed. So you can see in the light how many needles are in these bottles. I have disposed of probably 50% of what I've found over the last 50 hours because I don't like to accumulate too many of these things. I put them in a 20-litre bucket with a sealed lid, and I'll take them and dispose of them and let the people know that it contains needles, because they, like I said, are very dangerous. I'll just put this on pause and then I'll take it over to some of the other things that I've removed over the last 50 hours. Yeah, it's a bit windy, so I hope you can hear this. You will remember, most people remember that reinforced hose. There's another two paddles, a cast net with some sort of chain hanging off it that was in the trees. This container was in the river, a 40k sign, more of that orange net, and you remember this life jacket that looks like it's been gutted, and this strange sort of a frame with net around it. Then when we walk over to here, there's 4 bins, 5 bins, but I own one of them, so if these other 4 bins were taken out of the river, you'll see them in most pictures anyway. This yellow drum, piece of pine floating down the middle of the river, always pull that out. A water tank, and another tank inside that water tank, a canoe which has a massive serious crack down the centre of it. Looks like it must have come down in the floods. That fiberglass box has basically no floor in it. This one here's cracked. The chair is dumped at Kirby's Wall it's just a favourite for idiots to dump at Kirby's Wall. I don't know why they can't just take stuff out to the tip, like seriously, put it out front for free and someone will take that. But now it's had it from being in the water. These tyres, I will grab these. I don't grab them, I leave them for the Ocean Crusader, but when they've got air in them, they're going to float. And these ones have just been chucked in the river, so they're floating in the river, and if I see them doing that, I'll get them out. These black pipes you will remember from previous videos, and there's a bit more of that heavy duty hose stuff. These 2 blue pipes, I removed 2. The Ocean Crusaders have removed the other 2. This another blue tub. Those 2 pipes were removed so that I could sell them and get a little bit of extra funding to put towards the Burnett River Clean, because like I said, I do not get any funding at all. I do this out of my own pocket, and I'm not trying to talk it up. I enjoy doing it, I love doing it, but I can only do it as much as I can afford to do. There's another kayak, another white box there, and I'll just put you back on pause for one more second. Okay, back again. All of this stuff, while it is, you know, rubbish and all that sort of stuff, the Ocean Crusader can pick a lot of this stuff up. I pick a lot of it up, like I said a few times in this, so I can sell it. But the main, out of everything here, the most destructive thing is this. That box of just pure plastic and foam. This here is just plastic bags. Look at that, just plastic bags on top of plastic bags, all from the river. And these plastic bags are dangerous. I don't know whether I consider myself an environmentalist or someone who loves to just clean stuff out of the river. There's so many ways that you can call yourself an environmentalist, but I don't know whether climate change is real or not real. The climate does seem to be warming up through statistics and through some things that we see, but my main concern isn't climate change, it's this plastic. And the reason that I don't want the plastic in the ocean is because of the things that eat it. You know, while climate change could be real, it could be true, who knows, it is definitely true that turtles, whales and other sea life are eating these plastic bags, especially a bag like the one I just saw. Look at that one, that looks beautiful, like a nice jellyfish or something like that. These bags in the water, when they're full of water, they just look clear, they just look like a big jellyfish. And then you've got other things like whales who swim around gulping millions of litres of water to draw in plankton and whitebait and things like that, and they're ingesting this sort of stuff, especially smaller broken parts of plastic. So no matter whose country it's coming from, I don't care, because this stuff is definitely coming from the Bundaberg region. It's in the Bundaberg River and it's in the Bundaberg mangroves, so the council can reject it all they like. They've sent me an email saying that they're under absolutely no obligation to remove any rubbish from the river, and you know, that's up to them. If they want to have that attitude, that's fine, but all I'm saying is I want to continue to remove this stuff, and eventually someone will assist me and I can start removing large amounts of plastics. Like the Ocean Crusader, like I said, they do a great job. They're removing, you know, camper vans and things like that, but I want to concentrate on removing tons of plastic bags and plastic bottles and foam. This is my main concern. I don't really care about the other stuff. If it's in the mangroves and it can't come out, well, it's there. I take photos of it. My photos show GPS marks, and all those photos will be forwarded to Ian at the Ocean Crusaders, so that when he's back in April, he can hopefully go and remove those things and be able to dump them free of charge. I hope that people understand my point, because that's just the way I see it, you know. And things like needles, well, that's just an obvious thing. Like, it's going to be only a matter of time before a child stands on one of those or picks it up, doesn't know what it is, and sticks it in his or her arm. And like I've said 100 times, I think now, that is a vision that's going to stay in any parent's mind for the rest of their life if they witness that. And I mean, the council can't stop needles from going into the river, like, that's obvious, but we can somehow collaborate and come up with an idea to build waste traps to filter some of these needles and some of this plastic. So hopefully in the future this might happen. If you want to watch and see more pictures, you can go and look at the website. It's www.burnoutriverclean.com, where you can subscribe and support on YouTube to the Burnout River Clean. You can go to the Facebook page and like the Facebook page and show your support there. It's Burnout River Clean on Facebook, and you can also go and have a read through the GoFundMe account, through the GoFundMe page if you like. But any questions I'm happy to answer, but I don't understand why people are negative about this and abusive, because I don't think I'm doing anything wrong. I'm not misleading the public. I'm not trying to put fear into anyone. I'm just publicising what I'm doing, and this is the facts, and none of it's made up. I do have bottles here that have come out of the river over the last 50 hours. A lot of them, like I said, Jackson and Leanne donated their bottles here, their cans I mean. There's other cans here that have been squashed, that are out of the river and out of parks and stuff. A lot have been donated by people, so I mean, it doesn't just have to be people donating money that I thank. A lot of people do donate 30 cans or 50 cans, and it all adds up over the 50-hour period that I cash whatever I've got in so that I can go forward with more. There's a separate account for the Burnout River Clean, and none of the money's touched unless it goes for fuel and dumping fees and things like that. I keep all receipts. But anyway, like I said, thanks for supporting the people who do support, and the people who don't support, well, that's their decision. And maybe when they go down the river and have a look through the mangroves, they'll understand exactly the extent of this, because this is only 50 hours, remember, and it's not all through the mangroves. It's like I don't have time to do everything. So I mean, I'll go through the mangroves and I'll get out some of this plastic, and then if I see other items like this, I'll remove that because it's plastic. I end up just grabbing everything I can that's plastic, but like once I removed these plastic bags, then I'll throw these up above the watermark, the high water mark, and these things, and then once all that stuff's out, I'll grab this stuff. But yeah, plastic bags, they're the killer.